So, just whilst I'm now starting to strip this back, we've got the broken headlight out of the way. See now where that bumper's split? Should be like that. Like I say, this bumper to be decided, but as you can see, that's our chassis leg. Now you can see where it's welded in from factory. Looks like the cap is separate to the leg, which might be able to replace a cap. I can't weld, so somebody else would have to do that, but it looks possible. See how the cap's twisted, but the metal of the leg, none of it looks kinked. None of it looks kinked anywhere. There's no obvious sign. Wheel arch liner still butts up nicely with the leg where it's supposed to rest. This wiring still, it's not stretched or anything. That's supposed to go on the end of that cap. And you can kind of see as well that it's it's pulled this crash bar away from the cap, maybe absorbing a bit more of that impact than it otherwise would have done. Now over this side, just get my hand in here, it's pulled it away from the cap this side too, but hopefully that'll just be a case of bending the caps back rather than needing to take it somewhere to have the chassis leg straightened. But we can check all that. That's no drama. We can check that. So yeah, but also looking inside, can't see anywhere where it looks like that chassis leg's kinked either. So we're looking good on that one for crash bar replacement, and then we'll just have to hammer these end caps back or have them replaced. That looks to be alright. So yeah, but whilst I was here, just wanted to show you, if you were removing the front bumper with Mk4 Skoda Fabia, you've got some screws down this side, you've got 3 in the arch liner. Pretty sure you have to take that one out there on the wing. Oh no, that'll be to hold the wing bracket maybe. I have to get these bolts out that go through here. Who knows? I know, because that's on the wing, that clips onto it. Maybe it is just that bolt. I'll come back to that. But you've got 3 bolts in the arch liner. 1, 2 and 3. That one goes to the air, well these 2 I think also bolt through the air curtain system, which you can see there, and the screws for them poking out there and there. Cobweb, lovely. So you see I've removed that this side, and then if you come under the car, you got one. See if I can, yeah, one under there, this corner piece where it extends forward, and one there where that big drip of water is. Hang on. Yeah, so you see them both there. One there, and then see it? Yeah, one there, and then one over the other side as well. So coming back to that, it is that bolt you need to, well, say bolt, screw to take the front bumper off. Should have a little locating lug like that. Quite a challenge to get to one of them. You probably want to put the headlights on before you put put the bumper on before you put the headlights in. So it appears here like we've just removed some kind of well, it looks to be like a variable radiator grille, maybe for cold starts, block off a bit more of that surface area of the radiator, help the car warm up a little better. Probably emissions related. I think there's a plug here, so there's probably a motor of some description in here. Now this is broken, but all the pieces to it are still there. This would probably repair. You'd want a new air dam TPU grilly thing, because that is broken there. But yeah, this might be something we're able to reuse, because the fin is there, it's just been pushed out of position. Just wants clipping back, and then it'd be a case of using VCDS output tests, verifying that it works. Just have to do some repairs to this piece up here. But yeah, that was sat here. and the connector for that is just there. Oh, there, and it sits on that little piece there, clips on. But yeah, we can kind of see a bit more of damage and destruction now. Yeah. Next to probably tackle is up top. I am dreading this a bit, so I might try and do temporarily is get a hammer out, bash that piece back flat, because so you've got the lock carrying all this bit that won't move anyway, but there's this metal piece here that looks like it reinforces it goes on top of the radiator support, maybe like a slam panel, and if I can get this still bolted to here but also bolted to here, and use the bonnet catch without using it there, might be able to actually stick it there even though the bonnet's buggered. But I mainly want to be able to pull these radiators away from the engine. I'm not going to be disconnecting them today. I still need to figure out if it's got AC gas in it or not. Radiator, whilst it's been flattened, I've seen worse that still hold gas and fluid. Well, I mean, for a start, this one's still got coolant in it. This one's runner and driver, which gave me hope for the radiator. Maybe not the AC radiator, but the actual radiator, which, yes, it's holding coolant. It's got plastic tanks, which kind of tells me the impact from this point. Well, here was the main brunt, but maybe this bit didn't really get hit so hard. So I have hope for what's lurking behind here. Whether that's unfounded or not, I don't know, but we will find out. Yeah, what I really was hoping was that. So I've had some experience with plastic intake manifolds on cars, believe it or not. On that Polo, having just done one, you probably see in a video before this one came out. I know it's its own video, but it's just a quick snippet. But realistically, it's just these being on the front of the engine. If the radiator gets pushed back far enough into it, it will do that. It'll send plastic into the engine, it'll coat the valves, it'll do all sorts of nasty things in there. We've got away with it. Intake manifold fine. The engine up here appears to be completely fine. There's a little bonus tiddy bit. If we zoom in, right down there, you can see the VW on the oil filter. So I'm hoping that this car has had a full and complete Skoda service history, or it's been maintained by Volkswagen Financial Services and their fleet. So obviously this was an insurance repairer courtesy car, from what I can tell. Does mean it's been driven by a lot of different people, but hopefully it means, well, the interior's been looked after, kept clean, regular. It still smells like a new car in there, but also that it's been maintained properly. So yeah, and I guess people driving it might have been a bit more nervous after an accident, having had their car written off and not want to get into another one. Obviously that mantra doesn't go for everyone. And I really hope that this company did not give whoever crashed this another car. Because if their car was already in because they crashed it and it crashed again, probably about time they had the license revoked. But mechanically this looks spot on, which is very nice to see. Like I say, I've still got the battery on charge. Unfortunately I have a 1 amp charger, which I bought when the Nocco brand was still cheap. Should have splashed out on a 3 or a 5, but hey ho, it's what it is. Oil does look like it's ready for a change as well. The colour on it is, it's a bit dark, still see through. It's probably coming up to needing an oil change. I'm just dripping oil everywhere now, which will smoke off. Well, I'll wipe that off, but yeah, it's looking really good. It is. So we're back at it, a fresh new day. Obviously this is all lightning speed at YouTube pace, but here we have a brand new crash bar and crash bar for foam, straight from Skoda themselves, along with this. The radiator support does come with this included metal bracket on the top. We'll have to rescue the ones for the sides, and a brand new air dam. Yes, the important thing to note about this crash bar is it does come with this additional mount, which is for the shark fin system, for opening and closing vents depending on how warm or cold the car is, coolant wise. So it's a pain in the backside to take the rear bench out, because you might be able to see there, yes, there, right in the middle of the screen, there's that little post, and well, the seat clips under it and you've got to wiggle it off. Absolute nightmare. For these rear seat belts, obviously whenever you're working on airbag systems, always take the battery off, but you might be able to see up there, there's just one bolt. You can see the top of it there. That one bolt there is the one I need to get to in order to remove that. There's also an electrical connector, and I need to do that both sides, which involves quite a lot of disassembly, but it preps us up to remove all of this B-pillar trim, to remove these front seat belts, and hopefully I can get those posted out today. So through some jiggery pokery, have the seat belt out there. Now I was trying to be particularly careful with this one, in that trying not to remove this panel, so all I've done, I took a couple bolts, couple screws out the top there. That bolt, it does go on the underside, it is N10 spline, so you come from underneath. I just didn't fancy disassembling the entire car just to get that airbag out, to get it sent off. This will come out properly to do the reinstallation. So you've got a little bit of plastic welding to do on that bit of trim there. Nothing detrimental to the car though. So yes, I'm going to do this side, not show this side. I might show a bit of the other sides because the fronts are a bit different. So as you can see my lovely blue Skoda in the background, we have the B-pillar stripped, and we've got the airbag out of there. Now there is two plugs. This one that goes to the actual seatbelt reel itself. There's another one just under that carpet that goes to that lovely thing I've never seen before, but it says on it it's a pre-tensioner. So we have to have, well, the airbag team are going to have to rebuild that. So a bit more in detail, first bit you want to remove is this side trim. So you should have already got that mainly out this bit, this push clip here, it goes there from doing the rears, and then this bottom piece is just kind of worn or work it from this door, pull it out, that'll free up this cover, this will just pop off, and I'll show you what goes on up top. So I've got this trim popped off, this one slides down, that's now free hanging, again it's just those little push clips. And then to get anywhere on these, I'll come over to this headrest, you're going to want to go in here. So that's just a little cover, it'll focus, but it says airbag. Just a little cover there, I'm going to pop that out, and there'll be a Torx bit behind there, probably a T25. So it would appear this side, this passenger side, doesn't have said pre-tensioner, but what I am going to do now is I'm going to undo the seatbelt because it's still under quite a lot of tension there, so I'm going to undo that from the bottom with that M10 spline. So once you've got that T25, it is T25, once you've got that bolt out of that top bit there, which looks like this, under there, try and use something non-marking, I tried my best. But of course they manufacture in such a way that the only way if you do drop that screw on reassembly is down. Also this spring can pop off, and that's the bit you use to adjust the seatbelt height there, but that exposes on this one again, airbag plug, so disconnected the bottom bolt, which I just take out and put back in. I've left it out on the other side because it's a longer bolt with a spacer for that pre-tensioner thing, but I'll put that one back there, I'll thread this one back in here, and again they're just standard M10 spline. Removing these plugs is pretty simple. I might even be able to do it one-handed here. I just want to get like a thin pick tool in there, in the plug, give it a little wiggle, make sure it's free, and then you're going to want to be careful with the the wiring and all that, but then you just got to rock it out. Maybe not one-handed, but yeah, get the idea. Then the last thing you got to deal with when removing these seat belts is this little clip piece here. All I'll do, get the same pick tool. It's not a very strong spring, or strongly sprung. Just bend one side back, there we go, and then just knock it up with the ratchet I'm using to crackle the bolts loose with. And just like that, we have a car that has no seat belts. Yeah, so all fun and games, but yeah, sometimes you've got to be careful with these plugs, as with the heat, it can melt the connectors, so we'll have to see what's going on behind this one when we get to strip in the dash out. But I'm not going to do that until I can look at the new dash and find out where all of the mounting points are, for things like how it sits and interlinks with the centre console. So that's it for this one. Nice lovely house in the background. Yes, that is all. Cheers. So we're back again, and I'm fresh off a night shift, but we have some more parts, so I'll not be fitting these yet. I'll be fitting those when the car's ready to go for test. Yeah, just quite the lip on those. They're ready for me. I'd do them, and especially as a sale thing, it's always nice. You got to crash the car. Well, the brakes obviously weren't that good, were they? So swap them out for some new ones. Just a nice thing. And then obviously on the back on this one we have drums. So no discs there. And I made the decision, I'm going to replace the radiators. They are just too far gone. I can quickly show you. Yeah. Annoyingly, still held coolant. Well, it's still holding coolant. I've got to drop that. And still held refrigerant. But yeah, it's just not worth passing a car on or selling a car with damaged radiators that could go at any moment. I won't like to buy a car like that. Hence why we now have 2 new radiators. So what I'm going to do, whip this front bumper back off. New headlight arrived today as well, and the sun visors for the interior. So yeah, I'm going to take this front bumper off. We'll look at dropping the rads out because they're not bolted into anything. So I'll drop those, and then I'll get the new radiators installed into the new crash panel. I'll also get the fan, get that installed. I've got a small repair to do on the top, just like I did with the shark fin grille. But yeah, realistically, apart from waiting on the bonnet, bumper repairs, could very well have most of this damage structurally, and in terms of running the car, could have most of this fixed today. Probably won't because I'm a bit tired, but let's crack on. Well, this happened. So have the coolant draining now into a nice receptacle. Just crack that off slightly, but if you crack it off and wonder why nothing's coming out, under your radiator cap, well, coolant expansion tank cap. And whilst this coolant's draining, we can crack on with some of the little bits, like for example this bonnet cable was stuck in the radiator assembly. Now, so that lives there. You'll just see 2 black plastic tabs there on this passenger side. Headlight bracket leads to this box. Pop that cover up, and then it's just a simple ball-ended cable that side. So this should be fairly straightforward to remove now. I just need to disconnect the upper coolant hoses. There are 2, 1 and 2. Yeah, and then once I've done that, get this out of the way and get the corner of that radiator fan repaired. Well, we have a new crash bar fitted to the vehicle. So this side, as it should be, all 4 bolts, nice and happy. This side, this end cap was pretty much the only thing that had shifted. So did some hammering, rather than just pulling on the bar, and this welded nut broke off. so I just had to throw a knot on the back of that, and I will tap this further, just remove these aircon lines out of the way, just to get that last little bit straight. But as you can see now, we have a brand new crash structure on the vehicle. And just like that, we have a completed rad pack. So obviously, see, I've done the repair there. I have repaired that. I have welded this piece on. So these normally open when you're driving, and then close when you're static to help the fan pull the air through, not things. But this one had just broken off the two little tabs there, so I've just plastic welded this piece permanently in place as to not impede the fan, so it's not just pulling air from there, from a hot engine bay. It's actually going to pull it through the radiator pack more efficiently, and that won't affect whilst driving along, because you still have plenty of cooling capacity anyway, including with the fan. So this looks like it's come off an insurance job where it's had a little bit of fin damage, therefore it's had to be replaced, but it's still absolutely a-okay, perfectly fine as a green part. Obviously it's an insurance job, had to be changed, but this is the correct one with the correct fittings, so this will work perfectly for our car here. So now I need to fit that into the carrier, and we can get that all fitted up, all plumbed up nicely in the car. So this is now the front panel bolted into the car, and as you can see, it just looks so much better. Got the aircon lines bolted back up, they're in the correct orientation as they were, they're not touching, they're not rubbing, which is brilliant. I've just got to go through now and do all of the things back here, and I'll be like plugging in the fan, plumbing up these coolant lines, that kind of thing, and getting the shark fin grill back on, which I'm actually going to do next. And just like that, we now have the shark fin grill on, all of these grills on. We have the radiators, well I say both radiators really. All three Jubilee clip thingies are on the radiator hoses for the coolant, and the two pipes are on and bolted tight for the air conditioning. So yeah, now realistically I need to move on to installing headlights. Should have a pretty good idea of how this one fits, but this bracket on this one is a bit bent, so we're going to have to do some trial and error on fitting this side up, and this wing still is not perfect, so it might not fit 100%, but I'm really happy with how this has come together, and yeah, be able to adjust things slightly. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how that's sitting. So I'm not going to remove the dash from its box yet, just because that will be an absolute pain in the backside. But there we have two rear seat belts, the front passenger airbag, the front passenger seat belt, new driver's seat belt, and the new driver's airbag, which nicely came with the new wiring as well. So sometimes you do have to be careful when buying things even from trusted and reputable companies. So my airbag kit came from Airbag Team Limited. As you can see, this one compressors on both sides, genuine Skoda unit. This one has a slightly different Volkswagen Audi wiring harness. I mean, it all plugged into the car absolutely fine. Presuming this might be out of a slightly older Octavia or something. But it's this bit here. So the wiring for it, it's almost like it was for a different car, and they put this plate on for the Fabia because the wiring is sandwiched between here, so it won't actually compress on this side. What we'll do is compress on this side, but I just think that the wiring there has got caught under, so maybe if we can get that wiring out from being sandwiched in there, this may work. And also, having looked at the wiring harness from my original, so long as the actual plug is the same, we should be able to use this original harness. So as you can see here, we have the new dash all fitted nice. We have the new steering wheel airbag, and we have seat belts back into the car. These aren't locked. All of them have been rebuilt at the airbag team. That includes these rear ones as well. And we've got all the trims back in nice. Everything's looking as it should. There's only one bit to note on this one is the only piece of trim I'm not going to replace, obviously all that'll go, is this one here where it's split, obviously where the airbag pulled in. It's mainly covered by this piece here. So for me there's no burning desire to replace that one. It's not functional in any way. It's only visible when the seat is down, as it is covered by the actual seat itself. When the car is as it is, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Obviously that one had smashed the glass in there, so that has been replaced as well, and the missing one from the passenger side has been done. Let's grab that, we'll close that. So this is the scary bit now, where we put the battery back on. Hope none of that blows. We'll put the battery on. I'm going to run jump cables to that battery off of my Mk4 Fabia VRS, because I know this one's low, just so I can get in through the gateway on this one whilst the car is on ignition. Then I can start it, do some coding after I've cleared the airbag fault. Well, I thought it was clear just how many hurdles you had to jump through. But yeah, as you can see, we have the car running now. I still have VCDS plugged in. Yeah, so we're running, no errors, steering's happy, car's happy. I think it's a bit low on electricity, and that has been throwing me off somewhat. So that back to normal now. Yeah, so I've used the laptop. Yeah, so I was getting a reading on VCDS. It was steering angle. It wasn't moving at all whatsoever, and it seemed that it just lost its basic setting. Now, to get its basic setting back, it was essentially just a case of spam clear fault, go into the basic setting, keep trying it, make sure the car had learnt its end stops again after trying to reset it to factory settings, and somehow we've ended up at this result. It's not something I could really post and go, oh hey, I found how to do this, because it has been trial and error. But I have just turned the car off, locked it, restarted it, and the fault's gone. It's the first time I did this, so this is attempt number 2. First time, cleared it, got everything nice. Because I reset it to factory settings, there was an odd one where the it lost the coding for lane assist. As you can see, we now have lane assist. I can choose to turn that on or turn that off, because I have done that in VCDS. So I'll turn to leave that on. Why not? Yeah, now it's started. It's nice up to temperature. I've got no issue with the coolant. It does need the aircon topping back up, however. Got some fuel in the tank, which is nice. Things are back in. A bit of a rattle from something on start. I might have missed a screw from somewhere. I had one left over, so I'll go back and find that, because there's a bit of a rattle somewhere just whilst it's on cold start. As soon as cold start's done, no rattle, so be some kind of trim left somewhere. But yeah, and then all I've got to do now, because can't see anything when I do that, the cover's missing there for the seatbelt, so I got the seatbelt back from the airbag team the first time. The second tensioner had not been redone, so that went back to them. That's now back. Luckily, like I say, we had the issue with the steering wheel wire, sorted that, and they very kindly rebuilt that seatbelt for me again, free of charge. So can't fault it really. Got a brand new dash, got the airbag kit, it's in, car's happy. A little bit of a faff having to take it back out and send it back to get redone, but at the end of the day these things happen, and I have a car with no warning light on the dash, which is very good. That's what we want. So still got a little bit of bodywork to sort out on the front, but this ideally needs an MOT. Cheers. So as a final thing on this vehicle now, everything's buttoned up. We're going to be changing the oil. So you can see you've got the drain plug here. Nice alley sump on this 1 litre. I've ran it slightly. It's very windy at the minute, and I'm all under. Been jacked up on one side and being hit in the head by the under tray. So yeah, I'm going to drop the oil, change that, done new oil, new filter, 0W20 Castrol Edge, the IV version, long life, and then rather conveniently as well, the oil filter here. So yeah, I'm going to crack on, get this dropped. Probably going to take me a while to get the new sump plug ready. Just because it is windy, I have to hold this oil tray up here so it don't blow everywhere. Yeah, that's the last bit on this car. So there we have it, that is the oil filter there removed, just a little bit of drippage, and we'll wipe that up. Made a lot easier by having the correct tool, which is like one of these, the oil filter wrench, spanner, whatever you want to call it, grips. But yeah, get that wiped up. As you can see, was definitely due a change. Stop that from dripping on the floor. Not terrible though, not completely black, but yeah, definitely due a change. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some oil in the new filter, and yeah, then get that back on, and yeah, then fill up the rest of the way.